Brandon Hayes noticed his daughter Mia's drastic personality change. She was isolating herself, showing up exhausted in the mornings, and engaging in mysterious late-night activities behind her locked bedroom door. When her best friend's mother mentioned Mia had stopped visiting, Brandon's worry transformed into fear. After installing a hidden camera, he watched the midnight footage. What she was secretly packing in those boxes made his hands tremble. Brandon Hayes had always trusted his 12-year-old daughter Mia completely. She was responsible, earned good grades, and never caused trouble. But something shifted a few weeks ago. Brandon couldn't ignore it anymore. Mia started racing straight to her room the moment she got home from school. Gone were the cheerful conversations about her day. Now Brandon got one-word answers. Her eyes seemed distant, like her mind was somewhere else. For Brandon, this was especially alarming. He'd been raising Mia alone for 2 years, ever since losing his wife. That loss had made him hyper-aware of every shift in his daughter's mood. Then came the phone call that made his concern spike. Mia's best friend's mother reached out. She mentioned that Mia hadn't come over in weeks. The two girls had been inseparable since elementary school. Brandon hadn't even noticed the visits had stopped. That evening, he asked Mia about it casually. She gave him a vague explanation about being busy with schoolwork, but something in her tone didn't ring true. She wouldn't meet his eyes when she spoke. The strange behaviors kept piling up, one after another. Brandon noticed Mia's bedroom light glowing under her door well past midnight. When he pressed his ear against the door, he heard shuffling sounds. It was like furniture being dragged across the floor. What could she possibly be doing in there so late? Multiple mornings, he found her slumped over her desk, still wearing yesterday's clothes. Dark circles formed under her eyes. She looked exhausted. The breaking point came at breakfast one Thursday morning. Mia's head drooped forward and her eyes closed right there at the table. This was the third time that week. Brandon made a decision he never thought he'd make. That afternoon, while Mia was at school, he installed a small security camera in her room. He told himself this was about her safety. The first night, Brandon watched the footage on his phone. Nothing alarming appeared. Mia did homework, scrolled on her phone, got ready for bed at a reasonable hour. He felt foolish for spying on her. But the second night changed everything. At 10 o'clock, Mia got up from her bed. She walked to her closet and pulled out a large cardboard box. She struggled slightly with its weight. For the next hour, Brandon watched as she carefully arranged items inside. She checked something on her phone repeatedly, then reorganized everything. She worked with intense focus. The clock ticked past 11, then midnight. She was still packing. The third night revealed the same pattern. This time, Brandon could actually see what his daughter was packing. His heart began to race as he identified each item. Clothes folded neatly, toiletries lined up in rows, snacks, a flashlight, batteries, and then something that made his chest ache. Her childhood stuffed animal, a worn rabbit she'd slept with since she was 3. Brandon's mind went to the darkest place imaginable. Was Mia planning to run away? The thought sent panic coursing through him. Was someone hurting her? Had she been bullied at school and kept it hidden? Had he somehow failed as a parent? Had his grief over losing his wife made him blind to his daughter's pain? He barely slept that night. His mind spun through possibilities, each one worse than the last. The next morning after Mia left for school, Brandon went straight to her room. His hands trembled as he opened her closet door. Inside, he found not one box, but 3. Each was meticulously packed, sealed with tape, and labeled with dates. But they weren't labeled for running away. Each box bore a different name: Sophie, Emma, and Riley. Brandon stared at the labels, confused. He recognized these as names of girls from Mia's school, but he couldn't understand what they meant or why Mia was packing boxes for them. What was his daughter involved in? Brandon pulled out his phone and reviewed the camera footage more carefully. At one point during the previous night's recording, Mia had been sitting on her bed with her phone. The screen's light reflected in her dresser mirror. Brandon could just make out what she was looking at. She was browsing a website about foster care. Another page showed information about children in group homes. A third page listed essential items kids need when moving between temporary placements. Suddenly, fragments began connecting in Brandon's mind. though he still didn't have the complete picture. That evening, Brandon sat down with Mia at the kitchen table. He didn't mention the camera. Instead, he simply asked what she'd been working on so dedicatedly in her room lately. He kept his voice gentle. Mia's face went pale. She stared at her hands. The silence stretched between them. Then tears began filling her eyes. Her voice shaking, Mia explained that there were 3 girls in her grade who were in foster care. They moved between temporary homes constantly, never staying anywhere long enough to feel settled. She'd noticed they often came to school without proper supplies, without warm jackets when the weather turned cold, without basic personal items. She'd been using her allowance to buy things for them, but her allowance wasn't enough, so she'd started doing extra chores around the neighborhood, raking leaves, walking dogs, washing cars, anything to earn more money. She was packing care packages for each girl, trying to give them things that would make their lives easier. The late nights weren't spent doing anything dangerous. She'd been researching what kids in foster care actually needed, making lists. The exhaustion came from babysitting for families on her street, working extra hours to save up money. The shuffling sounds were her rearranging boxes, making sure everything fit perfectly. But why had she kept it secret? Mia's voice dropped to barely a whisper. She'd been afraid to tell Brandon, worried he would think she was being naive or wasting money. She wanted to accomplish something meaningful on her own, to make a real difference without adult interference. After losing her mother, she understood what it felt like to hurt. She wanted to ease that pain for other children who were suffering. Brandon felt emotion surge through him, overwhelming pride mixed with crushing guilt. His daughter wasn't in trouble. She wasn't planning to run away. She was trying to help others, driven by compassion and empathy that most adults never develop. Brandon took a deep breath and admitted he knew about the boxes. Mia's face flushed with embarrassment, but he quickly assured her he wasn't angry. Instead, he offered to help. Together, they could accomplish more than she could alone. Mia's tears shifted from fear to relief. Brandon contacted the school counselor the next day. The counselor connected them with the girls' caseworkers. They were moved by Mia's initiative. Brandon helped his daughter organize a small donation drive at the school, teaching her that compassionate work becomes even more powerful when shared openly. The 3 girls received their care packages, along with additional support from other families who wanted to help. Mia learned an important lesson about community kindness. Brandon removed the camera from Mia's room the next day. He never told her about it, and he never would. Some things, he realized, children need to share in their own time. What had looked like troubling secrecy was actually kindness growing quietly in the darkness, waiting for the right moment to bloom into light. And you, if you notice your child behaving mysteriously, would you trust them to come to you in their own time? Or would you find a way to uncover the truth yourself?